Hello everybody! This is the first EYFS vocabulary session of the summer term, so this is the session for week 1. We've got some new focus words to think about this week. Our focus words are strong, weak, rough, smooth, sturdy and fragile. Have you ever heard any of these words before? Perhaps you could pause this video now and talk about them with your adult. Maybe you could put these words into sentences, or you could even try to think of definitions. That means you could explain what the word means using other words, like you would if you were reading a dictionary. When you've had a good go at doing this, press play and we'll look at the definitions together. Strong, powerful, not easily broken. Weak, delicate, not very strong. Rough, bumpy. Smooth, flat. Sturdy, stable and rigid. Fragile, breakable. Were you able to think of any of these definitions? Were there any of these definitions that you weren't expecting? We're going to be thinking about our focus words for the week using the story of the Three Little Pigs. This is a traditional tale, and it's a story that I'm sure that you've heard before. It might not be the same as the version that you've heard, but as I'm reading this story, can you think about how any of the things that you hear relate to the words that we're thinking about this week? So as I go through the story of the Three Little Pigs, think about our 6 focus words, and then when we finish the story, we'll talk about them together. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. The first pig built a house made of straw, while the second pig built his house with sticks. They built their houses very quickly because they were lazy and they wanted to sing and dance all day. The third little pig wasn't lazy. He worked hard all day and built his house with bricks. The big bad wolf saw the pigs and thought, "What juicy tender meals they will make." He chased the pigs and they ran and hid in their houses. The big bad wolf went to the house made of straw, where the first little pig was hiding. He said, let me in, little pig, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," said the little pig. But of course the wolf did blow the house in. The first little pig ran to where the second pig lived and hid. The wolf then came to the house of sticks. let me in, little pig, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," said the little pig. But the wolf blew that house in too. The first and second little pigs ran to the brick house to hide from the big bad wolf. Finally the wolf went to the house of bricks. let me in, cried the wolf, "or I'll huff and I'll puff till I blow your house in." "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," said the pigs. Well, the wolf huffed and puffed, but he could not blow the brick house down. The sly old wolf tried to get into the house down the chimney, but the third little pig had boiled a big pot of water and kept it at the bottom. The wolf fell into it and was burnt. The other 2 pigs rebuilt their houses with bricks, and they all lived happily ever after. Were there any parts of that story that made you think about our focus words? Let's think about these together. How could we use the word strong to describe something that happened in that story? How could we use the word weak? What about the word rough and the word smooth? Sturdy and fragile. I would like you to pause this video and talk to your adult at home about each of these words and how they apply to what we heard in the story. Adults, please encourage your child to respond using full sentences using our focus words. When you're ready, press play and we'll move on to the final part of the session today. Now it's time for you to use the focus words in your own sentences. You could either talk about them and speak your sentences to your adult at home, or you could even have a go at writing them down. If you do, we'd love to see a photograph of your learning. Fantastic thinking today, everybody. Have a brilliant day and I'll talk to you again soon.